Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do a little evaluation on card rebalance. Later on in the video, I'm gonna give some of my thoughts and feelings towards some other stuff as well that SoulForge is doing. But for the start, I'm gonna show you some anecdotal evidence of what I think needs to be changed. So what that means is that this is all going to be completely biased in my opinion and only my opinion and not reflecting that of anybody else, for the most part. This is important to say because I don't have any data. I only have the games that I've played, which I guess is some form of data, but basically this is the stuff that I felt probably frustrated other players and also may have frustrated me a little bit, as you'll see later on. So, at the start of the rebalance, came up with this deck we named Big Dumb Animals. And now that's probably about 3/4 of the games that I play are against this specific deck. And it's pretty good. Now, that being said, a lot of people have been pointing fingers towards certain things that they think may or may not be the cause of this deck's power. And as I've come to see, the biggest problem seems to actually be with Immortal Echoes. Now, I'm going to be going into some other cards later, and I'll show you some anecdotal evidence about why those cards piss me off too. But for now, let's jump into the first deck that I tried. Alright, so here we go. This is the Big Dumb Animals deck. I've named it Echo Poop, which pretty much sums up my feelings towards Immortal Echoes. The card is broken, it's not fair, and it needs to be fixed. I honestly don't think that Dozer's that bad. I think it's when you get 5 fucking Dozers off of 2 Immortal Echoes. My math might be a little off there, but yeah, basically that's what's really broken. Let's go into some games, why not, right? Alright, so here is a perfect example of what I was talking about, where I just play a couple of Immortal Echoes and I get a bunch of Dozers. You can see I was clearly losing this game at this point in time, but then I play just 2 Immortal Echoes, level 1 Immortal Echoes, and I win. It's just that simple, really. There's not much more to say about it. And the thing is when you play a Dozer, they have to kill it, otherwise it's gonna kill them. So then it goes to your Deadpool, and that's all she wrote, my friends. I play another Immortal Echoes here, bada bing, bada boom, double Dozer, why not, right? Opponent's dead, game's over. That's all there is to it. You simply need to put Dozers in your deck and some Immortal Echoes and possibly a few ways to activate them, as well as some other big creatures, and you win all the time. It's just that simple. Here's another game that I decided to showcase. This is another really good example of why Immortal Echoes needs to be changed. You play this 11/11 level 1 creature. The opponent needs to kill it, otherwise they're going to lose the game. They kill it, as is the case here. And then you just play Immortal Echoes. You get fucking 2 more of them. Why not, right? So yeah, it's just that simple. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, that was me winning on 2.1. This is another one, me winning on fucking 2.2 or whatever. Just you know, with the Big Dumb Animals deck. And yeah, that's all there is to it. You just win all the time. Alright, this is me winning against AT, Igners, and Justicars, and I won on 2.4. So yeah. And now for a brief intervention of Serious Grapes review. Okay, so this is a point where I wanted to highlight why I think Duskmaw should probably be level gated. In this particular scenario, it didn't matter, but it does illustrate a really good point. The game could be extremely close. You go into the late game, you get an under-level Duskmaw combo that kills their level 3, and the game is instantly over. It requires no skill other than putting 3 Duskmaws in your deck. And this is one of those spots where I actually did a Duskmaw combo the turn before as well. And like two Duskmaw Tendril combos in a row, game's over. That's all there is to it. Yeah, it's either the Duskmaw needs to be significantly weaker, or it needs to be level gated, or some combination of anything to make it so that the game's just not over. Because the thing is, like, with Duskmaw, you you get a really good creature, and you kill a creature for free. Like, so it's just a complete insane blowout, and I've won a lot of games because of Duskmaw combos. Alright, so I originally tried to record this on 4 times speed, but the game was over too fast. This is me playing against someone that's playing a Big Dumb Animals hate deck. The fact of the matter is the hate cards at power level 1 are just not strong enough. At power level 2 and power level 3, I would actually say that Justicar is too strong as a hate card. Honestly, the stats for Justicar are just completely off the mark right now. This is someone, he has to kill my Dozer. This situation comes up all the time. He has to kill my Dozer. He kills my Dozer, I play the Immortal Echoes, that's game. It doesn't matter what he did. This is a very common thing in these Big Dumb Animal games, is they have to kill your Dozer, because otherwise it kills them. Then you just play Immortal Echoes, and that's the end of it. Anyways, but for Justicar, it should have bigger stats first off, and then second off, it should give something like -7 attack, -10 attack, -12 attack, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this game's over on 2.1, and the guy played a couple of Justicars and fell too far behind. Every game that goes to power level 3, summed up in 2 minutes. Oh yeah, I've got you now, you fuck. My Dozers are online. Yes, they're finally starting to do some damage. Yes. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, I'll level up my death current. That way if you play any good bombs, I'll be able to kill them. Yes. Got you down to 46. Here we go. It's okay. I got Duskmaws. I got that death current leveled up. Oh, I'll be able to come back. Here we go. Okay, gotta put the damage. Gotta do the damage. Let's go, Dozer. Come on, I got Dozers in my deck. I can't lose. They're fucking OP. Here we go. Do some damage. You got tendrils, that motherfucker. Here we go. Yes. Down to 20. Come on. Oh, that's okay. It's okay. We still got this. Come on. Oh, fuck. He's got another fucking Lycan. God damn it. I didn't try. Fuck. I want my removal. It's okay. Got this. Got Lycan charge. I'm at 58. Fuck. I've got you now, you fuck. It's Dozer time. I got the combos. Yeah. Okay, gotta stop you from gaining life, though. Right, here's how we do that. We gotta override the Eminence Column Knight, because it's dying anyway, so it's not gonna kill your shit. Now, here we go. It's fucking Dozer time. Dozer. Time to get bulldozed. Yeah, activate it. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Get in that damage. Here we go. Yeah. Alright, you got nothing. Yeah, it's Dozer time. Power level 3, I don't care. It's game. It's game. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Try your little stupid cards. I don't care. Here we go. Fuck! Shit! Some things that are frustrating with the original audio. Why wouldn't you have fucking both of your fucking things? Why not? Why the fuck not? Fucking stupid. I can't take it anymore. I'm too sick of losing like big dumb animals. There's too much hate. I know what to do. I know what to do. It's time to unleash Grogius. Yes. So, as you can see, there might be another card that has a problem. Now, I'm not against having cards that are really good late game. Let's just get that out there. Okay, that's a really, really good thing to have in the game. You know, that way you can have your aggro decks and you can have your control decks. The problem is cards like Grogius, they're not really that fun. As soon as they're played, the game's over, and that's the end of it. And that is exactly what's going on here. I mean, look at this. Like, you could be down the entire game, and they play one card, and the game's over. That's all. That's all she wrote. And, I mean, I'm sure you can tell that some people might be a little frustrated by this. And it's true, it is frustrating to play against and, you know, even to play with. It gets a little boring after a while, other than, you know, the fact that I really enjoy winning. But yeah, with that deck list I posted before we got down with the sickness, I'm 75% with that list, and that's playing top-notch players. I don't think anybody's gonna say that Techno, Not, Piquador, Petard the Great aren't top-notch players, because they really are. And yeah, I've been slaughtering them with this deck, and it's all because of Grogius. The card's too good. It's too good of a late game deck. It's not fun to play with. And like the thing is it can still be really good and make you really close to winning the game. But right now it's completely unbeatable unless you immediately have a Dustmount combo or a removal spell, and like the only faction that has stuff that can beat it is Necreum. So if you're not playing Necreum, you're inherently screwed against these leveling decks, and things like Dendrify play right into their plan, where the game goes longer, and if you're leveling up your Dendrifies, you're not doing damage to them, so the game goes longer, and then they get to do whatever they want. So the fact of the matter is the card is just too good. It could be 25-25. That would be more than enough. Yeah, the card needs to be changed. That's all there is to it. It's too strong. This is one game that I played. This was probably one of the funnest games of Soulforge that I've played in a really long time. This is the start of Power Level 3. As you can see, I've got kind of a crap hand. And I'm not in a good position. Really, there's no point to this game other than showing you how much fun it was. It was just a really good game. I don't even know if it was specifically a really, really good game. I'm doing air quotes, but you guys can't see me right now. But it was definitely an enjoyable game for me. And it's just another game to show kind of the power level of Grogius and how as soon as you play that card, the game is over. It doesn't matter what happened before. And yeah, it's just the end of it, really. I don't really remember the exact context of this game. I just know that I was at 9 life, and, well, 2 life after he hits me with this guy. And I do believe he was playing Dozers in his deck. Yeah, he was playing a Big Dumb Animals deck with Patrons. Something that's kind of a new tech now. People are doing that because it's Patrons. Another card that's pretty freaking strong. Not strong enough though. Not strong enough to kill a Krogius. So who cares? Doesn't matter. Yeah, basically, I'm going to use this game to kind of get my thoughts out about why I think Krogius is so broken. So the way these AU level decks work is they try to stall out the game as long as they can so that they play a Krogius. Which would be fine, other than the fact that the Krogius instantly wins the game when you play it if they don't have a way to deal with it. Okay? Or they don't have a way to immediately kill you, which is another thing. But that happens far fewer than you would expect. This game kind of illustrates that. You know, I'm at 2 life. There's nothing you can do. And then I play the Krogius. That's game. It's just game over. He might actually kill it in this instance. No, I think he misses on a couple Duskmaw Tendrils combos, so he can't actually kill it. And it ends up, you know, destroying him, because if you don't kill it within a turn or two, you lose the game, because it does 40 damage a hit, or 80 damage every round. So that's pretty significant, so to speak. But yeah, it's like, what can you do? What can you do against this? Okay, so yeah, so why the deck is so potent is because it's got Ambriel's Edict, which is just a completely bonkers card. You can fall really far behind leveling up as much as you want, and then just play an Ambriel's Edict, and you're completely out of the water. And then on top of that, they need to level their removal spells. The only card that doesn't kill level 3s is Duskmaw, as far as I can think of right now. Other than, like, I mean, there's no way they're doing 40 points of burn to it, right? So they need to level their cards as well. So they're wasting their turns. Instead of playing creatures, like, each creature can do potentially 10 to 20 plus damage, right? So instead of playing creatures, what they're doing is they're killing your guys to level up their stupid removal spells, and they're leveling up 1 or 2 removal spells, and by doing that, they're playing right into your game plan, because you've got life gain on the Krogiuses, you've got life gain with Stags, and then all of your removal spells are free by the end of it, and your deck is so consistent with your card draw that as soon as you hit power level 3, there's pretty much nothing anybody can do, no matter what happened in the game, right? So when people level up their removal to try and deal with something like Krogius, it's playing right into the AU level deck's game plan. So the removal doesn't even do anything. The bottom line is that the Krogius is just too strong. That's the bottom line. That's all that there is to it. And I stand by that. Because, like I said, if you try to level up your removal, you're playing into their game plan. They're going to kill you in the late game no matter what. And like the thing is, like, the thing gains life too. So yeah, and it doesn't need to be a 40-40. It doesn't need to be a 40-40 at all. It should be something like a 25-25. That way, I mean, this kind of counters my point that, you know, it's not going to be able to deal with it anyways. But, you know, if it was a 25-25, they'd have a couple turns extra to be able to deal with it, or even be able to trade like a level 3 or 2 with it. Like I said, it doesn't matter anyways, because their deck is so consistent, and by the time they get to that point, they're just gonna be able to draw another one very easily. But the point remains that, you know, if it was smaller, you know, there would be more situations where you could deal with it, because, you know, the level deck does do a lot. It works hard to get to the late game. Although now that the decks are pretty streamlined and flushed out a bit, they're getting to the late game pretty often, and it's I think I've lost maybe 1, maybe 2 games where I wasn't playing against a hyper aggressive deck and we got to like power level 3. Yeah, Krogius needs to be changed. Another good fix would probably be no life gain on the level 3. The level 2 is fine. Actually, I think that that's a really good change. It's kind of what makes the deck actually viable now. But yeah, the level 3 should probably not gain life. So yeah. And here's one more game. This is just a short little clip at the end where the opponent was playing a big dumb animals deck at a 3.1 Grogius, and it's done. Game's over. Like, I mean, I don't know how many times I can show this. Like, this is, like I said, I'm 75% with this deck right now. I've gone like four times. I've went 3-1 with the deck. 3 or 4 times, I'm not sure. But the deck is super consistent. The times that I've lost have mostly been due to misplays. The one saving grace with this deck is that it is actually quite difficult to play. You have a ton of decision points every single turn, but the thing is, like, you gotta look at every deck as if it was in the hands of the best player playing it. I'm not saying I'm the best player playing this deck, but like even me with this, and I'm saying deck's not even 100% streamlined yet. There's still changes that can be made to make it better. I'm sure there are, and it can beat everything. It really can. It does struggle with the hyper aggressive decks like the bin decks. And the Windspark decks. The Windspark decks are probably the biggest problem for this deck, and that's what most of my losses have been to. But the thing is those decks are being held in check by the Big Dumb Animals deck, because those Windspark decks can't beat the Big Dumb Animals deck unless they get quite lucky. So the thing is like the problem is that this deck beats everything but hyper aggressive decks, and nobody, like, let's be honest, there's very few people that actually like playing hyper aggressive decks. So it's like you're either with us or you're against us kind of thing, and so you have to play the shitty deck that you don't like, or you have to lose all the time. And like I said, a big part of this stems from this deck just being able to be so consistent as soon as it hits power level 3 that there's nothing you can do about it. So stuff like robot decks, or like, yeah, any decks that's not hyper aggressive is just completely screwed, because there's nothing that you can do about this. Which is, it's pretty upsetting, because I like to experiment a lot. I like to play other decks, and the fact that this AU deck exists and is so freaking consistent. Honestly, I don't know if changing Krogus would be enough. Admiral's Edict is a big problem as well. But yeah, like, the deck is just stupid consistent. And yeah, like even without the Krogius, like, just playing a bunch of gnomes every turn is a good way to win. And yeah, decks that don't have removal, like robots and stuff like that, they're just screwed. And it's upsetting that that's a thing. Okay, so I played a lot of games with robot decks, and I went 2-2 pretty much in all the queues, more or less. There was one where I tried Necrim in my deck instead of Aetors, and I went 1-3. I don't know if that was just bad variance or if the deck was worse. Anyways, this game right here shows basically my feelings towards how they have level 3 cards right now. If they think the disparity between level 1 and level 2 and level 3 is too high, the disparity between level 3 and level 3 is too high. Basically what's happening is it doesn't matter if you draw all your good cards or not. If you don't have hard removal in your deck, you're screwed. That's the bottom line. There's games that are completely unwinnable because you do not have hard removal in your deck. Like I said, this game pretty much illustrates that perfectly. An AT deck, unless they're a hyper aggressive deck, which obviously this one is not, it's a robot deck, it's meant to be kind of like a girl-eye deck, and incremental advantages, whatever. I've beaten BDA with this deck quite a bit, and the deck actually does really good against Windspark decks, because you have armor on your creatures. But that's beside the point. Anyways, my point is that the level 3 cards in Utera are way too strong. That's all there is to it. You look at Othra, it's got 50 health, and it kills you instantly when it hits you. Well, not instantly, but basically instantly. Like you can't win the game at that point if it's hit you, unless you're winning the next turn, which is often not the case. Krogius, I've already talked about tons and tons and tons. Nova, level 3, level 4 Nova, way too strong. There's just so many complete haymakers in the game that if you're not playing a deck that is extremely aggressive, you just can't beat these other decks. And the thing is, like, the really aggressive decks can still beat you. So you basically have a 0% chance of beating leveling decks. And, you know, you're only like a slight favorite against the aggro decks. So, I mean, any mid-range deck or any experimental decks are kind of screwed in that regard, because you can't beat the super overpowered late game of the NU decks, or sorry, the AU decks, and you're not a big enough favorite against the other decks that it's worth playing. Other than the fact, you know, it's having fun, which is why I do play the robots deck so much, is because I find it really enjoyable and I like brewing and making decks. But the fact of the matter is like, it's just not viable. You either need to play super aggressive decks, or hyper aggressive decks, or you need to play control. So right now, the way that I've seen the meta kind of play out is you've got your hyper aggressive decks, and those lose to the aggressive decks, which is like, you know, your big dumb animals is basically what I would think of, or I guess Tempe's Utera with Dozer is also kind of in that category. It's going closer into the hyper aggressive decks, but anyways, it's not a huge importance to distinguish between those two. But anyways, you got your hyper aggressive decks, which is like the Bin, Windspark Elemental decks that just like try to shoot your face as much as possible, do 30 damage in a single turn with the Windspark Elemental and a Firestorm or whatever. But yeah, your big dumb animals decks, which more or less beat the hyper aggressive decks because, you know, they just go a little bit bigger and do more damage. And then you've got your control decks, which kind of beat the aggressive decks, because they can slow the game down enough to get to the late game where they just end up killing you. And then the hyper aggressive decks beat the controlling decks because they kill them before they get to the late game and are able to establish anything, right? So it's basically, there's no mid-range. Mid-range is just, it's not viable because it 100% loses, well, not 100%, but like 90% loses to the late game decks, because the disparity between the mid-range power level 3 and the late game power level 3 decks is just way too big. Which again, like, goes back to my point before, that Krogius should not be a 40-40. I don't know why they made these cards completely unbeatable as soon as they hit the table. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And I think that's one of the big problems with the game right now, is it totally limits the amount of decks that are viable to play if you want to win. You're limited to either hyper-aggressive, decks that beat hyper-aggressive, like, you know, big dumb animals, which also stand a chance, although not a great one, against the aggro or the control decks. Or you have to play the control decks. Mid-range is not an option, in my opinion. Yeah, you can beat big dumb animals with it, but it's just, I mean, it's not really, like I said, it's just not viable. If you want to have, like, you know, a win percentage where you can play infinite without having to dip into your resources, dip into your silver, and lose your tickets. Which is something that I'm going to talk about at the end of the video, which could actually be another big fix to the game. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about it, other than the fact that, like, these crazy late game bombs, specifically in Utera, I think Utera is really the only one that's the big offender of this. I can't think of, I mean, Patron of Tarsus is another one that's, like, way more powerful than a lot of the other level 3s. But yeah, like, actually Malice Hermit's also one of them that just gets completely out of control. But yeah, like, Krogius, #1 offender, Othra, Nova to some extent, although Nova does take a lot more work, and I've definitely found that Nova is a lot easier to kill for the most part. And yeah, Malice Hermit is another one. I'm sure there's some that I'm missing as well. But yeah, these level 3 cards that need multiple other level 3s to deal with, unless you're playing the same type of thing, or they need removal. Something's got to be done about them, because let's be real here. Only 25% of decks are running removal. This game is designed from the beginning. This game has been designed to be a creature-based game, right? So when you've got a creature-based game, and some creatures aren't able to be killed by other creatures, it creates this disparity that you basically can't win unless you're also playing those creatures, or you're killing them before they get to the point where they can play those specific creatures, right? So yeah, it's kind of puts the entire game in this bad spot where you're forced to play very specific decks and there's not a lot of room for innovation, which I personally see as a problem. I mean, obviously that's a matter of opinion, but I feel like a lot of people would probably share that opinion with me. Anyway, this clip is about to end, and yeah, that's my biggest gripe right now, is that late game decks are too strong, and they need to be toned down a lot, like half the stats, and they'll still be just as good, but you'll actually be able to play a game, and you'll be able to play other decks along with that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Alright, so this next part, I got a couple clips. They're pretty short. There's 3 games here out of a 4 tournament queue that I did with this hyper aggressive deck, or not crazy aggressive, but it's one of the more aggressive decks in the format right now. And 3 out of the 4 games ended in power level 2, and the other one ended on 3.1. I ended up going 2-2, but the point is that they say they want to slow down the meta, or they want to dumb things down a little bit. This game in particular, this one right here, was complete bullshit. It was one of those games where someone just gets a bunch of dozer combos off. Like, I don't know, I've already showed games of me doing this, and I don't need to go too much into detail about that. But basically the point is that there's so many hyper aggressive decks in the format right now, and I mean, yeah, there's a certain place for them, but it's not fun. It's not fun to play against them, and it's not fun to play with them for the most part. And yeah, this is a small section. It's not a big issue for me. These decks are going to exist. Honestly, sometimes they produce the most interesting games because you're trying your hardest to survive and live, and do whatever you can to get there. And when you do get there, it feels really rewarding. But losing to them feels like complete scum. And that's the main point, is that and that's actually a lot of Soulforge, is when you lose, it feels 10 times worse than when you win. This is reflected in the reward system, it's reflected in how the games play out, and a lot of the time it feels like absolute shit to lose a game because your opponent does something that just completely kills the shit out of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, this video is kind of to just show a couple quick games with an aggressive deck, and show that these kind of things are certainly a problem. I don't think anybody can really deny that. At least if you want your game to go in the direction of being a little bit more friendly, so to speak. Yeah, that's it for this little bit. And now for a match against the final boss. Okay, we're up against iPhone 4, the final boss. So here, I told him to play whatever deck he thinks is the most annoying. What's it gonna be? We're gonna show him what's up with our hyper aggressive Bin Bin deck. Yeah. Alright, we got a Bin Bin start. It's good. It's good. Oh, okay, oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, Bin Bin. Oh. Yeah. Barrel face would have been good too, but Bin Bin might be a little bit better. Yes. Oh, okay, change music, Got our boss themes going on. I have no idea what I'm listening to. It's okay though. Just as long as we got the boss atmosphere going. It's a little less climactic as I thought it would be. Maybe a little lost here. Yeah, Behemoth, there we go. Yeah, get the boss music going. Play the Windspark Elemental. Check out the Bin Bin. Spray. Ooh, we got a good hand. Here we go. Dozer and Stack Socket and Flame Lance. Can't be beat, can't be beat. Here we go. Dozer, untouchable. Untouchable Dozer. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it sounds like my phone's going off. Oh, next boss music time. Here we go. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? We got the boss. We got the boss, boys. Yeah, let's push that damage. Flame Lance, that motherfucker. There we go. Yes. Hyper aggro all the way. Let's see if we can finish it before power level 2. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Okay, change the boss music. Here we go. What's it gonna be? Oh, this is intense. Yeah. Now I can really get that sense of feeling that I'm fucked. That I just can't win, you know? Oh, and Immortal Echoes. That's a pretty good card. We talked about that one already. Let's see, we're winning by a bit right now, but you know the boss, they always have a second form. Oh, this is looking pretty good. Yeah, Firestorm. Let's Firestorm. Trade some damage. Here we go. Kill that motherfucker. Oh. Alright, next boss music time. This is horrible. It's okay. Let's keep going. Oh, shit. This is intense. Here we go. Are we going to be able to beat him? Who knows? Saving that 1 point of damage. Oh, another point of damage, but that thing's dying right away. It's okay. Here we go. Let's activate the Dozer and kill his Dozer. Bada bing, bada boom. Dozer, here we go. Yeah, activate our guy. There we go. Shadow Bolt that shit. There we go. What's up? Oh, we got a Bin Bin and Inferno combo. Let's do this, motherfucker. Yeah. God, it's so intense. Boss music doesn't really work when you're thinking about stuff in a strategy game. I'm kind of realizing that now. I thought this would be better. That's okay. Here we go. Dozer time. It's Dozer time, boys. Get him. Get him. Can't be beat. Just gonna answer my phone quickly. We're back. Okay, back in the action. Here we go. Yeah, Bin Bin. Get it done. That's what I'm talking about. Burn out that motherfucker. Here we go. Get that 7 damage. Oh, next boss music time. What's it gonna be? Final form. Here we go. Damn, son. This is some intense shit right here. What's gonna happen? Ooh, I see what's going on here. We got some damage in our hand. We got the Windspark Elemental. We got the Firestorm. Oh, baby, look at that board. Oh, talking about 30 points of damage to the face. 2-card combo. What's up? Clear your whole fucking board. Do 30 to you. Get wrecked, son. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Oh man, that felt great. There's nothing you can do now, boy. Here comes the final foam. Here comes the final explosive. What the fuck is that shit? You're so dead. You're so dead. Let's just burn out face. I don't even care. There we go, boys. 15 life. All we need is a level 3 dozer. There it is. Yeah. 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 Here we go. Ultimate power! We beat the final boss! Yes! The final boss leads to final thoughts. Alright, so to wrap this up, I'm going to talk about the cards that I think need to be further adjusted. The cards that definitely need to be further adjusted. I don't think all cards need to be playable, first off. I want to get that out there. But there needs to be enough playable cards in each faction that you can have multiple decks. Mortal Echoes is a card that definitely needs to be changed in some way, shape, or form. It's been suggested that it pulls from all dead pools, which I think is a reasonable change, but might not be exactly where we want it to be. Yeah, this card is definitely a problem card as it is right now, and I think it's the biggest reason that the Big Dumb Animals deck is having so much success. Dozer could be nerfed a bit, but the main bad guy is the Immortal Echoes, and I think some people are missing that right now. And then, of course, I've already talked at some length about Krogius. I've showed a lot of anecdotal evidence, again, although evidence nonetheless, of its power and how it just completely ends games as soon as it comes down. And this card would be totally fine as a 2020. I don't doubt that at all in my mind, that it would still win a good amount of games as 2020, but it wouldn't be completely unbeatable. And that's a big point to distinguish, is that there's a difference between making a late game deck that has a good chance of winning in the late game versus a deck that is completely unstoppable in the late game. Othra, Krogius, Nova, Grove Queen, all these cards, huge offenders. Malice Hermit, big offenders of enabling themselves to get to the late game and being unstoppable in the late game. One of the other cards I want to talk about was Windspark Elemental. This card just does some stupid ass shit that just really shouldn't be allowed to be done in this game. My recommendation was to make it so that its level 1 did nothing. Its level 1 was a vanilla card. Its level 2 and level 3 did what they do, but the level 1 did nothing. That would be my change to this card. The fact that you can utilize it as an underdrop to do 30 points of damage, or whatever crazy. Now, I've heard way bigger numbers than that. Yeah, the thing is, like, a level 1 card should never be able to do 30 plus points of damage. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, I would make this so that the level 1 card is vanilla. Does nothing. 2/7 nothing, and that's it. That's how I would fix this card. Yeah, this card is no good, in my opinion. And just as a final thing that I wanted to go over, this has nothing to do with the card rebalance, but it has to do with the game rebalance. So as you can see, I've got a couple things here. For me personally, I'm definitely, the more I play the game, the less I like it, which is a problem. It's certainly plateaued for me to the point where I don't feel like there's any sense of progression, and I actually feel like I'm going backwards, which is not a good thing, of course. I've got all the cards in the game, and the more I play, the less I have, which is ridiculous. Honestly, to be profitable in this game, the best way to do it would be to collect your daily rewards and only play with your tickets that you get from your daily rewards. that would be the best way to progress in this game as it currently is, unless you have over a 70% win rate, which is ridiculous. If you look at the leaderboards, there's typically 8 people in the game, if even that, because I know almost three slots every single week are occupied by, people that are playing on multiple accounts. That's besides the point. But yeah, let's say 8 people. There's 8 people in the game that are constantly going at over 70% win rate. So that means everybody else besides those 8 people is losing by playing. So what I've got here, this was just something that I came up with really quickly. The first thing is for going 4-0 in a tournament. This is, well, okay, I'll explain this first. So basically, I tried to figure out how much silver you get from each type of pack. So this is just completely loose, but I think it's pretty close, or it's close enough to at least illustrate my point. You get about 1 legendary per every 20 packs, 20 regular packs. So that's 20 packs. That's 120 cards. Okay, you get 6 packs per card. So you get about 1 legendary out of 120 cards. Alright, following. And this number here is about 1 out of 18 cards you'll get a heroic. So that's 1 in 3 packs. And I think that that's actually a pretty generous number. The 1 in 20, I'm fairly confident that that's very close to what it actually is. Regardless, so basically I did a little bit of math and I figured out that with the 7 cards, each of them being worth 1/120th, or like each of the non-legendary, non-heroic cards, each of them are worth 1/120th of a legend, or each of them are worth 1/118th of a heroic. This is basically what I came up with for silver values for the packs that you get. So for a gold pack, or sorry, platinum pack, you get 39,150 silver. So you basically get 2 extra event tickets. And you also get your 1 extra. And another thing that's important about this is assuming you have a complete collection already, which, I mean, I know a lot of people do, but a lot more people don't. So yeah, so if you get a platinum pack, this is assuming constructed queue for expert draft or whatever the hell it's called. I don't play it, nobody plays it, so it doesn't even matter because it's just complete garbage. So I'm just doing this for constructed queue, which is also complete garbage, but it's the way that we play the game. So anyways, on point. For a 4-0 in a constructed tournament, your pack is worth about 40,000 silver, 2 event tickets, and you get 1 extra event ticket on top of that. So you profit 3 event tickets. That's for going 4-0. So 1 out of 16 people go 4-0. 1 out of 16 go 4-0. Okay. For going 3-1, you get a gold pack, which you get 2 heroics guaranteed and 6 other random cards. So given that, the pack's worth about 10,500 silver. So you gain half of a ticket. All right. That's 3 out of 16 people. Go 3-1. Alright, so this is plus 3 tickets. Again, this is assuming you have a full collection, right? And this one is plus 0.5 tickets. Alright? Because you get your 4 tickets back. And I believe it was 6 out of 16 people go 2 and 2. Alright, and here your pack, you get a silver pack, which is worth about 6,150. Screw it, let's call it 10,000 silver, which is way more generous than what it actually is. Let's call it 10,000 silver. So you get your 2 event tickets back, and you get 10,000 silver, so you're at minus 1.5 tickets, okay? And this is for going 50%, alright? 50%. Alright, then 3 out of 16 people. Is this right? 3, 6, 12. Oh no, I got this wrong. This should be 8, I believe. I think that's right. Yeah, that seems right to me. It might be 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. I don't remember what the distribution is. It's not super important for what my point is. And if it's the other way, it's actually worse. So it doesn't really matter. If you get a bronze pack, you get 28 silver. Again, screw it. Let's call it 5,000 silver. So you get what is it, 1 ticket back. I'm just going to look really quickly. Yeah, you get 1 ticket back for going 1 and 3. So if you go 1 and 3, if this thing will ever frickin' work. Okay, you go 1, 3. So you get 5,000 silver. Okay, you get 1 ticket back. You're down, what is that, 2.75 tickets. Minus 2.75 tickets. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Alright, and now 1 out of 16 people goes 4-0, or 0-4, sorry. You get jack shit. You get nothing. You get 5,000 silver and no tickets, so you're down minus 3.75 tickets. Okay, so if we look at this, it's pretty clear to see that if we're going 3 and 1 is is nowhere near as good as it is bad to go 1 and 3, and to go 4 and 0 is nowhere near as good as it is bad to go 0 and 4. And obviously going 2 and 2, you know, you're losing for going 50%. I've made a post about this before. I'll link in the description of the video about the rake of these tournaments being way too high, and it makes you not want to play, because unless you have a 65% win rate, and the 65% win rate is to break even. You're not going anywhere with 65% win rate. You're breaking even. You're breaking even on silver. So unless you have like a 70% win rate, which I've already established, you know, maybe 5 to 10 people in the game have a 70% win rate. Everybody else is losing by playing the game. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. And, you know, I mean, obviously the counter is, well, how is SBU going to make money then? Well, let me tell you, I came up with a list here of ways that they can make money that make so much more sense. This is what everybody's doing. Every big game does this. They got microtransactions out the ass, and that's how they make their money. And they make a killing. Look at League of Legends. They make a freaking killing. So yeah, the event, like, to actually play the game should be free and should be rewarding and it should be fun, right? You should be able to do a draft like daily. I would say daily minimum, for free. And you should be able to play constructed queue, go like, I don't know, 55% win rate, infinite. Anything more than that, you're making bank. And the thing is if you have that, it's going to make people want to play, which is a pretty important thing to have your game be popular. People wanting to play your game and actually feeling rewarding, that's a big importance for when you're playing your game, right? On top of that, you know, the more people you have playing your game, the more people are going to spend money. And besides the diehards, no one's going to spend money on a game that they don't like playing, right? This is a big thing that really hit me hard, because whenever I lose, it feels like trash. Like, it feels so much worse to lose. It feels 10 times worse to lose than it feels good to win for me. Like, because the way that you lose, like the way that you're losing in this game, a lot of the time is just like completely out of your hands. Your opponent gets that perfect draw, that 2-card combo that just completely fucks you in the ass. And then, you know, you lose that way, so completely out of your hands. I will say, you know, I do have a lot of really good games, and I do enjoy this game. That's why I'm doing this to begin with, is because I want the game to, you know, grow and be better and be bigger. And, you know, is also for me, like, this is stuff that I would really like to see. But anyways, so how do they make money then if they're not making money from people spending money on tournaments and shit like that? Well, let me tell you. Real money tournaments, things like the Forge Watch Invitational, or, you know, like the Golden Gauntlets, like, those are awesome. And they should have prizes out the ass. Like, I'm talking alternate arts, like, you get custom avatars, like, you win huge stuff by winning these things. Because, you know, the more stuff you give away from people playing in these tournaments, the more people that are going to play them, the more money you make, right? Hell, give a full freaking set of, like, set 1 to 3. Give 1 copy of shareable everything, set 1 to 3. That would be a huge prize. You know how many people would play for a prize like that? Everybody. Make it $10 to enter. Everybody's playing in that tournament, I guarantee you. You make the prize so freaking big for first place, everybody's gonna want to play. You make bank. And who cares, man? Like, who cares if people are getting cards? That's part of the fun, is building the collection, and it's rewarding, right? Give people the dream to actually build their collection for free, or in a tournament setting. And people are gonna spend so much money on that shit. Like, I know if there was a tournament, I have all the set 1 to 3 cards. I have all of them. There was a tournament that was $10 to enter, and first place was one shareable copy of every legendary from set 1 to 3, every card from set 1 to 3. You bet your ass I would be playing in that tournament. I would be booking work off for that tournament, and so would everybody else. Alright, anyways, on to the next. Tournaments, like, there's so much opportunity in tournaments. Anyways, alternate art cards. These things are ridiculous. It's like $20 for one alternate art card. So what I did was I took a little screenshot here. If my computer will let me scroll down. This is a Steam store. There's 20 games here for $1. You can buy 20 full games for $20. You can buy like 2 or 3 really good games when they're on Steam sale for $20. I bought BioShock Infinite for $10. That is a full like AAA game I bought for $10. And you're telling me it's $20 to get one piece of color shifted artwork? I mean, I don't think I need to really stress how ridiculous that is. These things should be like $5 tops. I would say less than that, like $2. The thing is like, if you have it like that, everybody's gonna buy them. Everybody that wants to spend money on this game is gonna buy them. That's just the bottom line. That's what's like, if alternate art was Krogius was $5 and I saw that on the store, I would ship out $15, no problem, like that. Just like, no problem, $15, give me my 3 alternate art Krogiuses, and you're making bank that way. If I see one alternate art Krogius for $15, there's no fucking way I'm spending that much money. I'm gonna go buy 15 full games for that money instead. But yeah, like, it's ridiculous. The alternate arts are way too expensive, and there needs to be way more of them as well. I know this is kind of counterintuitive, but the thing is, if more people are buying them, more people are in the game, more people feel rewarding playing the game, then you're gonna have that player base to actually afford to do stuff like this, where you can, freaking churn out an alternate art every week. You can pay someone to do that, and everybody's gonna buy it. Like, you're gonna be making bank off of this. Another thing, alternate art avatars. We only have so many art avatars in the game. You can have alternate art avatars for $5. Hearthstone does them for $10, and lots of people buy those, which I personally think is ridiculous. I don't think people should be paying $10 for random ass art or skins or whatever like that. But whatever, charge whatever you want for avatars. I probably wouldn't buy them. I don't really care about avatars that much, unless they were really cheap, like $5. Then I would certainly buy them. Some people mentioned subscriptions. This one I'm not a big fan of. Where they say, you spend $20 a month and you're allowed to do as many drafts as you want, whatever. I'm not a big fan of this one, because, I don't know, I just don't like it. But some people suggested it anyway, so I figured I'd throw it up there. Contests. This was one thing that I kind of thought of. It's kind of a dumb idea, really, but, it's just, this is just a list of stuff that I thought of in literally 5 minutes. So you could have, like, art contests where people submit art, it's like $5 into the contest or whatever, and then whoever wins the contest, fucking full set of the next set that comes out, whatever. Again, it's kind of a dumb idea, because who wants to spend money to enter a contest? It's silly, but you could have contests anyways. You promote the game, whatever. Backgrounds. This is something that they already have. Different skins for backgrounds. Do more of these. They're awesome. They're probably super easy to make too. Let's be real. They're probably super easy to make. Make them like $2.50 to $5, like whatever. Make them way more available. Like, it's impossible to find this shit. You actually have to go to the main website to find this stuff, to buy them, which is, it should be in game. You should be able to buy this stuff in game. Card acquisition, obviously, packs and stuff like that, but it's way too expensive right now. Same thing as before, like, the legendary chests, they're like $10 to buy. Same thing, back down here. Am I gonna spend $10 for a random shareable legendary, or am I gonna go buy 10 completely full games? Right? Like, it's just ridiculous how much this stuff costs. It's stupid. Events. What did I think for this one? I don't know. This is kind of along the same line as tournaments. Yeah, I don't know, tournaments, but maybe different tournaments, like Weekend Warrior style stuff where you can actually win big prizes, or whatever. Trading tax. This is something that I don't think will ever be implemented, but it's something to consider. If you ever did implement a trading, an auction house or something like that, you could charge like 10 gold in order to post an auction or something like that. That's kind of where this idea came in. Is if you ever did have an auction house, which was promised in the Kickstarter beta, by the way, some form of trading like that. Anyways, but if they did have an auction house, charge 10 gold to post an auction on the auction house. That could be something that would be a good way to do it with the gold. And yeah, gold, obviously, gold is gold, right? And there should be way more ways to get gold for free as well. I will say that. And the tournament should offer lots of gold too. Sound effects. This is something that I thought would be really cool. Is have some cards have sound effects for entering the field or doing battle. That's kind of an interesting idea, hey, right? And then, maybe you could actually have like skins for cards. Like when Krogia's come down, he's like, "Fuck you, I'm a plant, I'm gonna gain life," or just says something like that along those lines, or just sound effects, right? Along with the alternate arts, you can have like different tiers. Like League of Legends has different tiers of skins for their guys, for their different skins, and you can have different tiers of skins for this as well, where you can actually have an alternate art that's justifiable to spend $10 on because it's making a different fucking sound effect when it comes into play. How cool would that be? Or it's making like a visual effect when it hits the board. How freaking sweet would that be? That's something that some people would definitely want to buy. Another thing before I continue on that I just wanted to touch on is that all this stuff needs to be visual to other players. So like stuff like different artwork for the client or something like that, people aren't really going to want to do that because whenever somebody buys something, they do it because they want to show off in general. I know it's like a super silly thing to say, but it's kind of true. I mean, people like to show off that they spent money on the game, or it's like, "Oh, I'm so much better than you because my thing's gold and your thing isn't," or whatever it is. Anything that people spend money on, they should be able to show off to other people. Extra deck slots. I mean, this is like something that you can make like mandatory to spend money on. Like it could only be a gold thing to buy, and then also when you buy decks from the store. I wouldn't be a big fan of that. I like to be able to buy them with silver. I've actually myself have never bought a deck slot with silver before, so this is something that I've only ever spent real money on because I buy pre-con decks. But yeah, it's besides the point. This is something that you can make gold exclusive. Just another one of those microtransaction convenience of life things that a lot of other games are doing. Path of Exile does it. This is the only way I can think of off the top of my head. But convenience of life things are definitely stuff that you can do to make people spend money on. Card acquisition is not convenience of life. That's actually being able to play the game. Buying into tournaments, not convenience of life. That's actually being able to play the game. All right. So those are things that should not cost money and they should be rewarding and good. An alternate art life display counter, borders for cards, which I think would be really freaking cool. Card backs, I know in the new client you're actually going to be able to see the card backs. This is something I personally would never buy because I think it's stupid. I've got like 20 card backs in Hearthstone. I still use the original because I don't know, it's just I'm a fucking hipster, so I guess it's just the way it is. You can do stuff like different fonts. This one's kind of dumb, honestly, but I mean, it's an idea, right? Pack reforging. This was another one that I thought would be really cool. You transform 5 basic packs and you convert it into a set pack of your choice. Cost 10 gold. Something very simple like that. You convert 10 packs of your choice, turn it into a chest of your choice. You turn 10 basic packs into a chest of your choice. You turn 2 platinum packs into a chest of your choice from any set. Cost 100 gold, or whatever it is. You can do stuff like that, and that would be so freaking cool, right? Like, how awesome would that be? Combining 2 packs together, spend a little bit of gold, forging a pack together into a legendary chest of your choice. Like, that would be so freaking sweet. This is already talked about. Yeah, anyways, that's just like, again, off the top of my head, like 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes thinking of all these. I'm sure people can think of way more ways for them to make money doing really sweet stuff that people would want to buy. Not this bullshit right here. Not this like insanely high rake on tournaments, because that's making people not want to play your game and not want to spend money. This stuff right here, they want to spend money on that. They want to play your game when they do stuff like that. Yeah, it's just, I mean, to me, this is just common sense, and it's a big reason why stuff is going wrong. Okay, one of the last things that I want to, last two things that I want to touch on before I end this video. It's already probably over an hour long. Linear stats. This is something, I forget who mentioned it, but stuff like Dozer, that is supposed to be a really aggressive card, make it a 10-7. Don't make it a 10-10. Cards should not have super high health and super high attack. It should be one or the other. Utility creatures should have high health, aggressive creatures, vanilla creatures should have high attack, in general. Obviously that's not for everything, but this is something that definitely can be touched on a lot more. There's so many cards in the game that have linear stats, and it just doesn't really make sense, to be completely honest. Some cards should have way more attack than they do, and some cards should have way more or way less health than they do. And that's just the bottom line for me. So this is something that could definitely be tweaked a lot while going forward. The next thing I want to talk about is level 1 cards that do nothing. Soul Drinker is the main thing with this. Arzakon I was talking to. Most games end by power level 3. You've got 30 cards in your deck, 30 level 1 cards, right? On average, after you've played them all out, you will see 6 level 2 cards in a game, right? Keep in mind, most games are ending on 2.4 to 3.2, all right? You will, in general, see 6 cards that are level 2, all right? So to have a level 1 card that does nothing makes it unplayable. I don't care what it does, it is unplayable, all right? And that's just, again, another bottom line thing. There should not be, unless it's something like, you know, specifically designed to be leveled up, like Iron Maiden or Krogius. Level 1 cards that are not designed to be leveled up, and they're supposed to be like, you know, bad at level 1, and then above average at level 2 and level 3, as opposed to like complete bombs at level 2 and level 3. Their level 1 needs to be playable. Like, I'm talking Zimus needs to be a 5-6, fucking Soul Drinker needs to be a 5-6, like whatever it is, they cannot be unplayable like they are in their current stages. Again, this goes back to that linear stats thing. All these creatures would be perfect to have as something like, if Zimus was like a 7-3, it would be a playable card. I kid you not. It would be a playable card if it was a 7, or whatever, a 7-2, whatever it is right now, it's like a 5-2. If it was a 7-2, it would be a playable card, and it would be a good card. Right now, as a 5-2, it doesn't do anything at level 1, it's garbage. Yeah, and Soul Drinker is probably the biggest offender of this that I can think of, where the level 2 and level 3 are above average, like they're really good, well, pretty good. I mean, I don't know. But the level, like, the thing is, you never get to use them because the level 1 you can't play it. It's unplayable. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts about pretty much everything with the rebalance. I don't think a lot of cards need to be changed. Immortal Echoes, Krogius, and you know the other huge late game Terra creatures that are unkillable unless you're playing Necreon. Those cards are no good. And then Windspark Elemental. I think if those things got addressed, a lot more stuff would be viable, and you know, it'd be a lot more fun to brew and play around with shit. Yeah, like, I know that this is supposed to be about the rebalance, but these are things that I feel really need to be addressed. The rake in tournaments is horrible. It makes me personally, and I think a lot of other people, just not want to play the game because it feels so horrible to lose. And this kind of stuff right here, if you charge money for this shit, it would be freaking awesome. Like, this stuff would be sweet to have in the game. I know, obviously, it's way easier said than done, but like this kind of stuff, you know, just as ideas, this kind of shit would be so freaking awesome. Yeah, and then, like I said, the linear stats and that. So yeah, that's all for me. This is a pretty long video. If you guys made it through, I'm glad you stuck around. And I hope you guys agreed or disagreed with most of what I said. Catch y'all later.